Hello there. This is the Bountiful Chest. I am Shadow. I have my animal companion accompanying me today, apparently. Uh, so I've seen a lot of different games pop up, and I've seen quite a few go down in a ball of fire, and I've seen ones just poof miraculously. Um, I saw one that it was a dot hack based game. And the person that made it made him literally he could turn into Sephiroth, and within I think the first week he already just God mode PK'd people, and very quickly that game ground to a halt. But I don't want to focus on that one as much of a train wreck as it was. Uh, I want to focus on the worst game I saw never even start. So it was in the aughts. We've had a number of anime come through us through Cartoon Network. And well, after several series of Gundam and Outlaw Star, someone in a game I was in decided them and their buddy were going to make their own game and just throw Gundam into Outlaw Star. Now, yeah, you can throw things together. A pan fandom game can just be, it's like fast food. It's like maybe it's not great, but it's a guilty pleasure. But, it only existed with two posts on its board, and that was it. So what went wrong? Well, first of all, if you know the term DMPC and why it usually ends up being a bad thing, that's essentially what he did. Is his character had a reskin of the Outlaw Star, his waifu, you know, uh, again, reskin of Melfina. I'm pretty sure he had the best mecha he could in his launch bay, and he'd already been to the Galactic Ley Line, so he had everything. He was the end game character. So who would join this game? Because, well, here's this guy that can squash you anytime for any reason. Oh, she's stretching. Even if you wanted to be an antagonist character, well, he could just decide to come over and blast you, and that'd be it. Two, there was really no plot line. Uh, I had been in some games where the plot line was character interaction, where because there were, groups that antagonized each other. So, of course, there was player versus player, but this didn't really have a setup for any sort of factions that would be competing. This just, was a glorified sandbox, which those can work under the right circumstances and the right people, but he had no one. He just expected people to join. And without direction of where this is going or where characters should be heading towards. But then the third, number three, no one knew this game existed. Just he let the people know on our board that he was active in. I think he was still active for a little while after he made his own, but it, and it was a thing back in those days. There were still quite a few places you could throw out a link. Hey, I've got a game running here. find other games and network with people. Hey, can I have a link on your board? You put a link on my board. Just have some very different games, swap links around so people can, you know, fish through games until they find the one they like, um, or, four or five, or, throw it on a link site. There were, back before the free internet, even while the free internet was collapsing, there were sites that you could throw a link on and people might find you. But he never really did that. And the few times I've tried to start a game of my own, a play by post forum game, that has also been my problem. I don't know where to advertise. I don't know where to look for people. I don't know where to find the interested parties. But that's a thing you got to do. And with D&D, you can right now go on Roll20 or various other platforms, say, hey, I'm running this game. There's you know, every D&D channel has a Discord on YouTube. So I'll make one eventually. But they all have looking for player, looking for DM, looking for group chat rooms. So, there's all sorts of places still now where you can look around to find a game or advertise your game. But it's a thing you have to do because it's one thing to make a game, it's another thing to find players for it. If you don't find players for it, uh, it's I've been in a couple situations where I have found players and stuff came up, so the game didn't run. But you have to know your environment and how to find the interested parties. If you were in let's say you're in an MMO and you wanted to start a role play guild, well, you don't just make the guild and wait for people to walk up to you. You start posting on the forums. You start advertising in group chats, in trade chat, in Baron's chat. Yeah, I actually advertised for a guild and had someone angry at me, and then had like 50 people like, that name is freaking hilarious. I'm like, thanks, it's the guild master's idea, but yes, it's hilarious. But you have to put yourself out there, or else you end up with a group that never goes anywhere, because a game of one is fan fiction, which isn't bad. Or, writing a novel. Yeah, there's that post I've seen. Yeah, why can't you just play D&D by yourself? Then later, I've been informed this is writing a novel. It is. Or in the case of Mashing Gundam and Outlaw Star Together, it's a fanfic. Which, no problem doing that, even if it's two people writing it, which is still technically roleplay, but roleplay is just, people coming together and writing a story together. Sometimes just using mechanics to determine what happens during parts. But anyways, that's my story on the worst game I saw never go anywhere. Maybe that's a little harsh, but I really don't think that would have run well. Granted, he was probably rather young at the time, and I'll give him some leeway on bad decisions. Hopefully, he'll learn better. Hopefully, if he opened another game, he found places to advertise. I mean, I know back when I was in high school playing my first game of D&D, I kind of, Yeah, I got shamed for a few things. Anyways, that's it for me on this video. Uh, roll well, and I'll see you all next time.